Hello, 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 hello. Happy Fly Day. Happy Fly Day. Happy Fly Day, y'all. It is another day. We have made it to the end of another week, and I'm excited. I always get excited about Fly Day. It means so much. If you are watching this live, do me a favor, go ahead and send a wave so that way I know that you're here. And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay because the conversation continues even after this live ends. But y'all already knew that, okay? But for the individuals that don't know, if you are new here, welcome. I'm Lanisha Marie, aka the Fly Coach, and Fly stands for fulfilling living year round. Okay, this is about living an intentional life and learning to thrive in every area of life, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and professionally. And it's about finding that joy and fulfillment in all that we do, because life is short to not enjoy what we do. And so that's what is Fly Day? For the people that don't know, just a quick history and recap. Fly Day was out of mistake. I was trying to say one time, Happy Friday, and it's time to fly, and my brain mushed it together, and it became Fly Day. Fly Day is a thing, and it's a big day because it's a day that we do one of three things. Number one, we celebrate our wins. What did you do? What did you accomplish this week? Share it in the comments. Share it in the chat, wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching it live or watching the replay. Share something that you're proud of that you did this week so that we can celebrate you. We also share the lessons that we're learning this week. You know, what is life teaching us? I am all about recognizing the lessons because if we don't, we will repeat the lesson. And then the third thing is just recognizing if we missed the mark on any of our goals this week, if we didn't do or accomplish something that we said we were going to do this week, it's taking an honest look and reflection and saying, hey, what was the barrier that I came up against this week? And we know and understand that some things are out of our control, but for the things that are, what barrier did we come up against that we did not properly plan for or make the adjustment? And we recognize and readjust so that we can do the work, continuing the work, and do it next week so that we can set ourselves up for success. Okay. So that's what Fly Day is all about. And so what I wanted to talk about really quickly today, as you can probably see with some of my content, I've been kind of talking a little bit about, what would you do and what are you working to build outside of your 9-to-5? Because if you don't know, that's what I coach on. I work with corporate women to help them identify and monetize their overlooked skills to create purpose-driven income streams outside the 9-to-5. And so this week I have kind of really been dialing in because I had just been seeing so many different articles about the unemployment rate, job loss, all those things, because of course, HR is my corporate background. So I still am very much in tune in what's kind of going on in the HR space. But it's like all the topics that I have been seeing recently was about the unemployment rate and job loss and why those positions have been getting eliminated. And if you don't know, because someone actually asked me and they're like, well, what's the point? What's the reason why for the job loss, and why has it significantly impacted the African-American community? And I'm like, it's for a couple of reasons, whether it's for the AI, for automation. It could also be just due to the DE&I removal or rollbacks that had happened, or even the federal layoffs. And then that's not even counting the average and regular layoffs that happen anyways. So there's just a lot of things kind of happening. And so it's like, this is why I kind of stress, especially as I grew my career in HR and I had sat in different rooms and been in different conversations. You should always, if you are going to spend your 8, 9, 10, sometimes longer shifts at building a company up, do something to build you that cannot be taken away from you. Okay. Something that you can either voluntarily choose to leave your job to do, or something that just in case that job is removed, because it happens. And how do I know? My role was eliminated in 2023 due to a reorganization. And so it's building something that no one can take away from you. And so that's the question that I wanted to ask and talk about today is, how would your life shift if your job was optional? How would your life shift? How would your life change if your job was optional? And the reason why I asked that question, I want you to think about it and I want you to put it in the comments, is because in everything that I do, I never tell people to just quit a job. Y'all, full-time entrepreneurship is hard. It is a challenge. And that's why I always say you have to know that you're called to entrepreneurship. But I never tell people to just up and quit a job. No. So you'll never hear that from Lanisha. So don't ever try to say like Lanisha told me to quit my job. Nope, never. Not going to happen. But I'm all about creating a plan if that is your end goal. But if not, I want people to work in positions and roles that truly align with who they are, that light their fire, that they're passionate about doing, and do the work that they truly care about, and not just work a job because they need a job to pay bills, because that's operating out of survival. And I want individuals to operate from a place of abundance, wealth, and truly thrive. And it's not even necessarily about monetarily, right? But yes, we want to make some money, but it's about really truly, the fly life is an intentional life, and it's about doing the thing that lights you up, doing the thing that you were placed on this earth to do. And that's what I want individuals to do. So whether it is finding a new position, starting a business, or working on that purpose project or assignment that you've been putting off or that you've been delaying. And for mine, that started my coaching journey so long ago, it was writing a book. So it looks different for each individual person, but I just want individuals to pursue it, whatever that thing is. And I'm the accountability partner that you didn't know that you needed, but now you have, and I'm going to stick beside you. So I'm going to ask the question again. What would your life look like if your job was optional and it was not required for survival? All right. Because once upon a time, I never would have imagined myself being, hey, thanks for tuning in. Once upon a time, I would have never thought that I would be here working as an entrepreneur. I thought I was just going to be forever stable in my job, work my 9 to 5, go home, get my paycheck. Okay. Until I really started realizing that obedience was more important. And that's why I always say purpose is greater than popularity, because the thing that you're called to do, the thing that's on your heart to do, people may not understand it. They don't have the vision. They weren't given the vision, you were. And so as I started to pursue my purpose and my assignment and what obedience truly looked like in my life, that's when I started to say, and I would hear it all the time growing up. Pastor Daddy always says, your job is not your source. You're in all these different, he lists these different things usually when he goes through offering at church. And I would hear it all the time growing up, but it's like, no, literally, my job is not my source. Like, whatever assignment that I'm on, like, God is going to provide. And so that's just how I am. And that's just kind of where I think. But a couple of points that I want to talk about really quickly, and I want to get your thoughts and I want to get your input. So definitely join in on this conversation, because it is not just a conversation to me talking to myself. That number one, I want you to know that jobs are a blessing. Okay, jobs are a blessing. But dependency can become a trap, because a lot of times individuals can get stuck, they get comfortable, and that is why they choose not to take the next step, because you're comfortable, right? But what a lot of people don't realize is that they are literally one organization cut, reorganization cut, a budget cut, AI rollout from being unemployed. Okay. So if you only have that one income stream, you are literally one foot away and one step away from being unemployed. And it happens because I've gone through different reorganizations. I've gone through reduction in forces, but I had only been impacted one time. But a lot of times when people work jobs, they become so dependent on it and they become so comfortable that they forget that your job is based on the needs of the business. Okay. So I want to point out, and I just want to say this: if your job was taken away today, would your purpose still stand? And the question is, yes, your purpose still stands without a job, right? But my question to you is, what are you doing and what are you building and what do you own that no one else can take away? That is my question for you, because God gave you purpose. God gave you assignment, not just a position. Okay. And in your identity and who you are and who he created to be is what it's all about. And it's not defined by where you work, because the title may change. Like, literally the titles could change. And I say this from an HR perspective, because sometimes I have gone into companies and they have some made up job titles. Okay. I'm like, what is this title and where did you get this title from? And I could tell that you weren't working with an HR person, because I do HR consulting on the side. But I'm like, I could tell that you were not consulting with someone, because you done made up a whole job title, but the work that you're doing is XYZ. And so that's why I say your assignment and your purpose, it like the title means nothing. Okay. But some people get caught up on them titles. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole different time. But I want to specifically talk to the women that I know, the corporate women, the corporate baddies, the corporate girlies, whatever you want to call them, the corporate queens. I want to talk to you, the women that are delaying their purpose voluntarily because of comfort or convenience. I'm talking to you. Or to the women who have been unexpectedly displaced, because like I said, our jobs are not promised, but your purpose is, your assignment is. So whether you leave by choice or you leave by force, knowing that delaying your purpose and your assignment has a cost to it, and it's how much are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to pay that price? Because you can wait until retirement, but what I've realized is that retirement is not about age, it's about income. Or you can recognize that your assignment is now, and it's imperative that you get to work now. All right. So as I wrap this up, I have a couple of questions I want you to think about as you go into this weekend. Okay. This is the assignment. I told y'all, what type of coach would I be if I didn't challenge you to think? Okay. I want you to think about, number one, what would you do if you didn't have to work to survive? Let me say it again, because this question is going to be hard for some people. What would you do if you didn't have to work to survive? See, a lot of individuals, all they know is survival mode. They don't know anything else. And it's like, you don't have to stay in survival mode though, okay? Where would you live? Who would you serve? What would you do? How would your creativity show up? Like, would you be working the same job if you did not have to work to survive, okay? I want you to think about that. And again, I stress this so very much. It's not about escaping work. It's not about escaping work, but it's about aligning the work that we're doing and the things that we're doing with who we were created to be. And that's why I call it finding your gold mine. Okay. So if you're interested in that conversation some more, make sure that you either send me a message, schedule a breakthrough strategy call, do something so that way we can talk about finding your gold mine. Because that's what it is all about. It's all about finding the thing that you're good at, that you're passionate about, that you can get paid to do, and something that this world needs, okay? It's about monetizing your gift, not just your time, because I do not want you to always, if you have to always trade your time for money, you're going to never have time to do anything that you want. Hey, director, I'm about to hop off, but the question of the day that I was asking individuals to reflect on and take away for today is, what would you do if you didn't have to work to survive? That was the question for today. And so I'm encouraging individuals as I wrap this up, because I'm working on my time management, y'all. I'm working on my time management. It's to schedule a call or slide over to the DMs and let's continue this conversation. Because as I mentioned, Fly is all about fulfilling living year round. I never want individuals to only get excited about or feel excited when it's sunny outside, or it's the holidays, or it's summer break. I want you to have that same experience of joy and fulfillment year round, every single day of your life, because you're doing exactly what you should be doing, okay? And so, again, it's not about leaving your job tomorrow, but it's about making sure you're not trapped by it. Got it? Get it, got it good. All right. So that's all for F.L.Yday. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Share some nuggets, share some takeaways, answer the question, because like I said, I asked the question, not just for me, it's for we. This is a discussion. Okay. And then let's continue this conversation about what would you do if you didn't have to work to survive. All right. I will see y'all next time on the F.L.Yday Live. Have an awesome and amazing weekend, and I will see you next week. See you later.